Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. That was terrible.
That was not as good as the
terrible.
first time we did that.
Yeah.
We did that last week?
Was it
no,
last
no,
week?
it wasn't. I
I don't know. They all run together. Guess
all-
what?
Yes.
Welcome.
Hey!
Bacon is my podcast, the podcast that is brought to you by the people behind us, if you can see us. We've got Wild Bills, drinkwildbills.com. We've got grillyourassoff.com. We've got Poddex.com. You can get 10% off at any of those by using the promo code BACON.
Yes. We're also brought to you by the fine people over at Manscape. This week, we are highlighting the Lawnmower 4.0. I know we've said it a few times on this show.
Mow that lawn.
Yes.
Is your lawn making the rest of the neighborhood less valuable? Is that what's happening at your house right now? Is your front yard making your neighbors go, God damn it! What are you doing?
So, something that I will say is I'm a longtime Manscaped user.
Yes.
I got the Lawnmower 3.0.
I've been since the 3.0 myself.
And I was like, well, I've heard about Manscaped since the 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
3.0, I was like, oh, well,
I couldn't
gotta
afford the
get that.
I couldn't afford the 2.0.
Yeah.
I was living in the van at the time.
Right. And then, as soon as they did I got the 3.0.
Yeah.
A few months later, out comes the 4.0, and I'm like, this. Well, first off,
How different could it be?
it can't be that much better.
How different could it be?
Because I'm coming off of using just a regular Philips hair buzzer.
Dude.
Yeah,
How many times you cut yourself on that?
that's a whole other podcast.
Right, yeah. How terrified are you when you cut yourself on that?
Oh, it was awful.
Dude.
It was awful.
Dude.
So much
You guys
blood.
know. You
There's
guys
so
know.
much blood.
You girls don't know, but you guys know.
But I'm like, how much better can it be? They sent us some,
So much better.
and it's somehow
Dude,
so much better.
it's so much better.
It's got skin safe technology. You got your replacement blades. They can send them to you monthly or every 3 months or whatever you choose. It's rechargeable. It's got an LED spotlight, which is important because when you're going down there,
Yo, man.
and
You want to
Too much-
shave your nuts in the dark?
you may not want to see what's going on down there, but when you're doing that, you got to see what's
You know
going
what
on
happens
down
in
there.
the dark?
It's waterproof.
Sharks hunt.
It's waterproof. It's not just like water resistant. It's waterproof.
I'm amazed I haven't thrown you off yet.
It's got a travel lock.
You're doing really well.
Thank you. Definitely hit up manscaped.com. We use
Feeding
all their
frenzy in the
products.
dark.
We use so many of their products, including the crop mop. We can't talk about
Even
that
if you have
enough.
a hammerhead.
A hammerhead
Works.
works. Wait, a hammerhead?
What's a hammerhead look like? So,
Go to
I will-
manscaped.com.
I will say there's a difference, right? The guard is great because...
Oh, we're going back to this.
Yeah,
Oh.
and no, because it's really good, and I thought of it while you were talking, and I think it makes sense, right? Ever had a shag carpet?
No.
No? I've seen a shag carpet.
I wasn't alive in the 70s.
Oh, they still make shag carpet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they still do that. That still exists. So imagine a beanbag, if you will, with shag carpeting,
Yeah.
right? It's kind of long, kind of gangly. You spill some soda in it, it gets matted, looks like dreadlocks. You don't want that.
No.
You don't want that. But maybe you don't want the leathery beanbag.
Right.
Maybe you don't want that. Maybe you don't want it to feel like it's like you're sticking to things. Maybe, like leather sticks to your skin. Maybe you don't want that. Maybe you want like a corduroy. Like a smooth corduroy. That is guard number 1. That is the area of guard 1. It's kind of like a corduroy. Instead of a leathery, which is definitely not the shag carpet.
Yeah. Leathery beanbag.
Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Go to manscaped.com. Use the promo code BACONPOD. Get 20% off
And free
free shipping. Today,
How's your week? I haven't seen you in a while.
I
man.
know.
I haven't seen you.
so I know these come out weekly, but we double up.
Yeah.
We do more than we need to do. We're
Well,
way
today is a
ahead of
different
things.
day than we normally do.
And
It's a whole
today is
different world right now.
Yeah, we're just all over the place right now. So I actually haven't seen him in almost 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And the time before that was almost 2 weeks as well.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's great. I'm well into my new job.
Great not seeing me for 2 weeks.
No. That's not what I meant by that.
That's
I
so
meant
mean.
is
Why are you so mean?
I'm doing great personally.
Not seeing you. I got you.
Not seeing you.
Right. I get it.
Because I don't feel as
I'm
bad.
a handful.
I don't feel as bad as I usually do about myself. That's why. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I'm doing all right, man. I've got the other podcast going.
Yeah.
So
you're
my
cheating
new
on
job.
me? I get it.
Family first, baby.
I get it. I thought I was, your mom said I was like her adopted child. I thought
She
family,
did say that.
But no, it's clear to me that there's still there is a gap there. There is a moat around
With snapping
Casa
gators.
de Wayman, and I'm allowed to cross that moat when the drawbridge is down, and it's not always down. I thought it was, but it's not, and that's okay. That's okay, dude. It's cool. It's cool. How's that podcast going?
It's great. It's called Nets Get Real.
Nice.
It is.
I like the fun. I like it.
It's cool because it is nothing like this.
No, not at all.
No, like this is to entertain people.
Yes.
The other one is to inform people.
Yeah.
And I speak to doctors. I am way out of my depth on a lot of this stuff.
I can't wait to listen to it just to hear you speak to doctors, because I enjoy that when we're on these excursions.
Yeah. It's I just recently did one with a doctor that I never talked to before.
Okay.
Which is weird because I do these things all the time.
Yeah.
I had never met him before, and then last minute, my parents were like, "Oh, we're not going to do this one." And I was like, "Okay, cool."
Well, you're in charge now. Some of you don't know this. Most of you don't know this, but Mike is now a CEO.
I'm not.
You are now the head big cheese.
I'm not.
The major dude.
I'm not.
The
I'm not
main
yet.
guy.
I am not the main guy yet.
You are the main guy.
I'm not. I am the head of media
Okay.
and brand content.
Sounds like the main guy to me. Sounds a lot like the main guy.
It's not.
What does the main guy do?
The main guy deals with money.
Oh. You're adjacent to the main guy.
Yeah, no, I know that. I know
You're main
that
guy adjacent.
I know that guy. Yeah. But I've been dipping my toes in other waters because
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm working from home.
Yep.
I am doing stuff I enjoy, and it allows me to be here on a Thursday night.
Yeah, that is awesome.
And
I can be here on a Thursday night because I lost my job.
yeah. Which brings me to how's your week going, buddy?
I just thought that would be a funny addition.
No, this is a great addition.
Like yin and yang, man.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. Yeah. I didn't lose all my jobs. I just lost one of them.
Yeah.
But the one that brought me that kept me unavailable on Thursday nights,
right,
is now no longer an obstacle.
Yeah.
So
because it was only Thursday.
It was only Thursday. Yes, that is true.
Yeah. But yeah, how's your week going?
My week's going well, man. I bought some new gear.
Yeah. I'm so excited to
I am
hear about it.
I am the proud owner of a Neural Quad Cortex for you musician guitar
Gearheads, if you will.
gearheads out there. I now have one. I'm figuring it out, and I'm not good at that stuff, but it seems very easy. And it's very user-friendly.
That's amazing.
10 minutes, and I was playing and not thinking about it.
Okay. Well,
which was great.
That is something that I'm super excited to dig into.
Yeah.
But before we do any of that...
Well, we're not going to do any of that today. Well, I mean, we'll do that.
I mean, we'll do that.
Off
the
air.
air.
Yeah.
Or maybe we'll just record it and just put it on. Whatever.
You never know.
But today, we've got lead singer of the band Glasslands,
yes,
Josh, on the show. We have done a really long intro, so I think we should do that.
Yeah.
Right now.
Okay.
Radio voice?
How you changing it up? What are you doing?
No, I'm not going to change.
What's going on?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Bacon Is My Podcast. Today, we've got lead singer of of the band Glasslands. Josh, what's
Hello.
going on, dude?
Chilling. How you guys doing?
Good, man. Good. You guys have lots going on. New record, The Deep, is out. You got lots of cool tours, a lot of cool touring plans coming up.
Mhm.
I am super excited for it. So yeah, man. Like, are you guys? How long has it been since you've been on tour together since the last one?
The last tour we did was like February, March this
Okay.
year, and then we haven't toured all summer. Things are still like pretty backlogged from COVID and no touring the
Right.
past couple of years. So stoked to be finally getting out next month for sure.
Yeah. The new record is awesome. Actually, I know PR agents don't really like when you talk about them and stuff like that, but Jason got to us and was like, "Hey, I have this band. They just put a record out. Can you listen to it?" And it happened to be that I was working on I was putting together a shed, a small bike shed for the children,
Okay.
and I was like, you know what? I have my phone. I've got my Bluetooth speaker. I'm gonna listen right now. So I put it on. I'm like, third song in. I'm like, fuck yes. Let's when. Let's
Yes.
do this.
Wow, it took you 3 songs, huh?
Yes. Yeah. Well, you know what? My fourth song.
He's
no.
a tough crowd, man. He's a
Well,
tough
hey,
crowd.
I appreciate you listening.
I was like neck deep in parts of a shed too. So I had to break away for a second when I went to go take a sip of water. It was another hot day. So I immediately knew we had to get you guys on.
Awesome.
Really cool, and your history is really cool too, because I didn't know this when we booked you. It wasn't until this week when we were like really deep diving into you guys. You guys are all part of, or were parts of, major touring bands and stuff like that, and super cool. So congratulations on the record, and I'm excited. I am trying to go to the Beartooth show in New York, because that's pretty
Nice.
sweet. Like small venues with them. That's pretty awesome. So
Yeah.
what how'd that transpire where like all of a sudden they're like, hey, we got some spot gigs, you want to hop on?
I don't know where they came up with the idea, but Brandon, our drummer, his original drummer, Beartooth. So him and Caleb and Ashi they're all really, really good friends still. They're also from Columbus, which is where
Yep.
Brandon lives. And then Brandon also knows their manager pretty well, so it kind of just, they asked us if we wanted to do it, and we were like, yeah. Let me check my schedule, and then I was like, yeah, it's clear.
Nice.
Yeah, it was just kind of a thing that came together, and we're super appreciative, and we're so stoked.
Yeah. Now, what that does is, unfortunately, it overlaps with a tour that you're hopping on
Yeah.
later on, which is Dragged Under and our buddies from Rivals. And I was like, cool, there's a New York date. Cool. Three bands that I know and like. And then I'm like, oh crap, they're only on half of the tour. So now I have to go see Beartooth again to see you guys.
You have to.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Too bad for you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna suck.
Right.
But yeah, so that's pretty cool too, that you guys are hopping on that other tour. That's going to take you through what, end in October, I guess?
It goes to like the 22nd of September, I think. So,
Okay. All right, cool. So then beyond that, you guys got any plans? You getting back into the studio? You're going to start writing again? Are you continuously writing, since this is like kind of
Well, I just started writing again recently because we worked on this album for years, and I was sick of writing, so I stopped for a little bit, get myself a break. But yeah, recently I just started again, got some like cool stuff, and we'll probably this fall into like winter break, we'll probably get back in there. I don't know if it's going to be anything official like next album studio time, but we'll be like doing stuff for sure.
That's
So,
cool. Now
Yeah.
it took you a while to write this record, but it is a concept record.
Yeah.
Did you go into it with the concept, or did it just kind of evolve into a concept record?
It kind of happened simultaneously, and for like, it's kind of concepty. It's not one that you have to listen front to back, and
Sure.
it's not a continuous story per se, like most concepts. But there is like subject lines that repeat throughout the record, and different phrases and characters we refer to, and the vibe, and that kind of all plays together in each song, but they can all be listened to independently. But the deep itself, we thought it'd be really cool to create this world and this character, Mr. Creeps, and throw him in there. And we're big fans of like 21 Pilots and Halsey, and they are very much into their records. I don't know how much you guys know about them, but they've done similar things, and 21 Pilots just has insane theories and all this stuff. And I just think that's so cool. And Halsey was the same way, and so yeah, we really enjoy that. So I knew like we wanted to do something like that, not necessarily, like I said, front to back, have to listen to it, but yeah, it's just a fun thing, like mostly for me in the band, and if people like catch on and get into it, then that's cool. But yeah, I'm like a record guy, so I always like learning about them. If I like the band enough, I'll like learn about it, see if there's like extra little details that are just enjoyable for a listener. So
Like a common thread kind of thing.
yeah, just like something else to like, if you're connected to the music, a lot of times you want to learn more about them, and just having like, it just makes it more fun for listeners and fans, and just a better way to engage with people. So yeah, it's kind of how it came about, I guess. So
Now, as a writer, when you were going into it, like I can only imagine like that it's got to be a lot of it's got to be a whole headspace that you need to be into to do something with even a loosely concept-based record. Did you go into it from the get-go with like we're going to create this world, or was it as you were writing, you were finding common threads and you were like, oh, let's connect these and let's kind of figure from there? Like, what was the approach, and how did it differ from like your normal writing?
yeah, I think I came up with it at the same time I wrote the first song. So the first one I wrote was Silent Prey, which we had released as a single, but I came up with the whole concept back then. Kind of simultaneously, I was like, I wrote this lyric, and I was like, and then the opening lyric is like caught in the deep. And then I was like, oh, and then it kind of just like sparked an idea, and then we kind of ran with it. Then just came up with this whole concept. And then shortly after that, like when we were writing Mr. Creeps, we were in the studio. I don't remember how much of the song I had written or how much we came prepared for it. But Brandon misunderstood a lyric in Silent Prey. There's a lyric that says "the mist it creeps," and he thought I said Mr. Creeps. And then I was like, what? And then he was like, this might be something cool. Then Brandon came up with a whole like Mr. Creeps concept, and then we like finished the song that day. We were super inspired by it. And then we're like, oh, what if like this guy was in this living in our little world, and it adds a whole nother layer to like the concept. But yeah, so we just kind of came up with it. Long-winded answer. We kind of came up with it like as we were writing, just like it wasn't intentional to like, I mean, we wanted to do something cool and unique and like more than just like, here's 10 songs.
Right. Was it
So
like a big rush of inspiration when you like, as you started to come up with it and figure out like, oh, this is going to be something? Was it then like floodgates of ideas came, or was then that like you had to kind of like struggle through some of them?
Yeah, I mean, there's always struggles in writing, but
yeah.
For me, I'm a less experienced songwriter. So like, I was always like the guitar player or the drummer or the bass player of my bands growing up, and in Icon, I was just like a hired musician. So like, I never I didn't have a ton of experience songwriting until I started Glasslands. So for me, songwriting's stressful. It's getting easier the more I do it, but it's super stressful for me still. So the things I get really excited about are things like that, and different weird ideas and concepts, and like things I can visually see, and kind of just come up with in my brain. I guess that's just the kind of creative I am. Some people like can just like put out song after song and write all these amazing hooks, and I'll write like 50 choruses to one song before I find the one. And so yeah, whenever I come up with ideas like that, or Brandon and I are pretty similar in that sense of creativity. So, one of us will mention something, and then we'll just start roll. We got idea for 6 years down the road, stuff like that. So I really enjoy that stuff, and it definitely gives me like inspiration. So
that's awesome. Now, I wanted to ask to go along with the songwriting stuff, because you said you write like 50 choruses for something. I saw in another interview you were talking about how you wrote like 50 choruses for Mad, and that song like took a very long time to get done. And then there's always those songs that are done in like 10 minutes, right? So I have like two questions really. Like one, like do you find more gratification in those songs that are like you're in and out and you're done and you're like inspiration and it's there, or do you find more gratification in the ones that you have to kind of like you struggle through a little bit, and then when you get it, you're like, damn, this is it, I got it, awesome? And then my other question would be like, the stuff, if you wrote 50 courses, that means there's 49 courses somewhere out there. Are you the type of person that hangs on to stuff like that for future things?
Reuse and recycle.
Or are you kind of like it didn't work for this, it's scrapped, it's gone, and you need to clear your headspace?
Yeah, I'll answer that one first. So like Silent Prey and Mad were the ones I wrote an obscene amount of choruses for, and even had people reach out. The band helped too, and we were just, nothing was hitting. All the Silent Prey ones are probably gone. I don't even remember them. But Mad was had a really cool intro. It's not the same as it was. It started with like this vocoder effect, like on a keyboard or whatever, and it was super dope. And it was the original chorus melody, and then it went into the verse. It was really awesome. But it just did not work as a full blown chorus. It wasn't catchy. It wasn't like, the song was so cool, and then it got there, and it was just like kind of a letdown.
That song does have like single written all over it. Like you hear that song and you're like, oh, this is a song that will bring people in. This is something that needs to kind of be out there. So I could see where that would be one where you're like, I need the perfect chorus.
Yeah. And it's just, even if it's not a single song, like I still want a chorus that's like as good as it can be for that song,
Of course, yeah.
For whatever the vibe you're going for. But yeah, so like that is a song, like that idea for Mad that we didn't end up using, something I might reuse or whatever, not verbatim, but so sometimes stuff gets recycled, but for the most part, like I feel I don't like reference old stuff that I didn't use too often. I might have something in my head that I'm like, oh, this could work later if it doesn't work now. Or I've been wanting to use like a vocoder sound for like years, and that was the first song I got it into, and it's still in there, like on the pre-choruses and stuff. Not as cool, it's not as much of a feature as I wanted it to be. But I don't know if I'm still into that, and by the next album maybe I'll
see, right
there. So yeah, it just depends. As far as like the gratification goes, that's a hard one, because you're always like, it's different kinds. So like Silent Prey, for example, I worked on that like almost entirely myself, and so like, whenever you like finally crack it and you're just like, you're just like, I'm like sitting in my office in the dark trying not to yell because like my wife's asleep or whatever. So that's like a really satisfying thing, and then to show everyone it. But also, like, usually the songs you write like that, or you're doing it together. So like
True,
Beggar, Beggar and Mr. Creeps, we did more together in the studio. So like Jordan came in one day with, I mean, we were all having a rough time the past few years, right? And so we weren't even going to have any breakdowns or anything on the album, really. We didn't want it to be as heavy as it ended up being. Not that we're super heavy, but Jordan just one day came in. He's a guitar player. He came in with the Beggar instrumental, like almost fully written. And we're just like, here, I accidentally wrote a really heavy song.
Oops.
We were like, oh. And then he had it kind of like, I wrote and tracked the vocals that same day, like came up with it. And then, I remember like I was writing something and then I came up with the chorus while I was there in my head. And then I started to like hum it out. And then I was like, oh no, this is way too high. And so we ended up dropping Beggar to all the way to G, which for us is just, we're not like a gent band or like not anything near. So they were like, what? Or so it just sounds super heavy for us. But like, yeah, that one we wrote in a day. Mr. Creeps, like I said, we wrote in a day. And those are also like really satisfying because you're like kind of together and it's just more
right. It's like a collective. You got that collective high of like,
yeah.
Fucking doing it.
Yeah. You're just like, oh my God, we're going to be huge. So it doesn't answer your question at all. I guess I get the same. Different, different kinds of gratification. So
it does. I get it. Like whenever I try and write, I tend to like, I try and write in groups of two because I have basically a throwaway song because with my process, I'll get stuck. And if I don't have something else to put my mind on, I'll sit there and stare at a line and I'll replay a part for way too long, and then I'll just like I'll blow. All creativity is gone. I'm just out of it.
Yeah.
So I'll have like another song where I'm like, okay, I'm stuck. Let me go over here and start doing something else. And inevitably, they start to kind of like the melodies start to kind of sound similar and I've more than once been like, oh, this thing I'm writing on the side is actually the chorus for this, and this is and I'll end up doing that. And I've even had songs where I've had a chorus and I couldn't think of a verse, and then stumbled onto an old voice memo from like 3 years ago and been like, there's my verse. There it is.
Awesome. Nice.
Which is great. So it's like, for me, I never throw anything away, but then I know people that are like, I need to get this out of my head so that I can make something else.
Right.
Too. So I'm always interested to kind of like see what the process is for different writers. What's up, guys? Going to talk to you a little bit about our sponsors real quick. Just want to start off with grillyourassoff.com. If you are going into grilling season like we are, then you know that you always need a little rub. You always need a little sauce. You need something that's going to help your grilling get better. Help those chicken breasts, right? They get a little dry sometimes. You want to make sure you're saucing them up. You want to make sure those ribs have got a nice dry rub and a saucy rub. Go to grillyourassoff.com. Check it out. I've used their stuff. It's delicious. 10% off with the promo code BACON.
Another place you can go to get 10% off with that promo code, drinkwildbills.com. They've got delicious sodas. They've got all sorts of different flavors, from sarsaparilla to birch beer to you name it. You got your root beers, you got your cream sodas, you got your creamsicles.
Yeah. Sugar-free for you guys. Watching the waistline.
Indeed. And also, they've got some great jerky stuff. They've got the brisket bites are A+.
Indeed.
A+. And if you go there, go to drinkwildbills.com, use the promo code BACON, get 10% off.
One more place you can use that same promo code BACON is our oldest sponsor, Poddex. If you're a podcaster, if you are a budding interviewer, if you are just somebody that has a hard time talking to people every now and then, or want to do something fun with your friends, check out poddex.com. They have these decks of cards, 50 cards per deck, 50 questions. Check it out. Learn things about your friends, learn things about people, learn how to talk a little bit more and be a little bit more comfortable. Always use the promo code BACON. Again, to get 10% off your order. They got cool swag too.
Indeed. And last but not least, of course, always frame the balls.
Yes.
Is that what you do? frame the balls.
Frame the balls?
Well,
You could frame the balls.
you could, though. You could. But if you got a bush, it's just not... It's the summer.
Get rid of it.
Get rid of it.
Yeah.
Use the Lawnmower 4.0. Use the perfect package and go to manscape.com. Use the promo code BACONPOD. You get 20% off your order. And they've got all sorts of great stuff if you're a guy who's looking to feel so fresh and so clean.
Indeed. And not only do you get 20% off, but you also get free shipping.
Free shipping?
Shine up those balls. Get rid of that bush. Clean yourself up. And if you don't
Indeed.
clean yourself up, start.
Yeah.
Bacon Pod. 20% off, free shipping. Check it out. Thank you to our sponsors. Thanks for hanging out. What's your bacon?
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad you said voice memos. I mean, I feel like every musician knows that. I have
Dude.
thousands, you know.
How do you
Yeah.
how do you title yours?
What's the best title you've got?
Let me pull it open real quick.
How many of your home address 1, 2, 3, 4, 5s do you have?
Oh, dude, it's so funny because I'll do like, you know, I don't know if anyone else does this, but if you have like a full song idea, like just randomly of a new song, I'll be like, I'll do the guitar, the drums, the synth, and the melody line all in one like fluid sound. So I'll be like 1, 2, 3. And I'll just be no one would have any idea except for me, you know, kind of thing. So
it's so funny because you pop, like, sometimes I'll pop those into the session before I like track anything out or do drums and stuff, and it's just like, oh, these sound terrible on monitors. Stop. Just stop.
Yeah.
Just remember it.
Yeah.
Just remember
Yeah.
it. Play it from the phone.
I can always tell which ones I did like in the other room at 3 a.m, trying not to wake up
Yeah.
my girlfriend. So it's like all quiet. I'm like, okay, you're the bard in heaven.
Yeah. No, I feel that. I'll do it when like I'm driving too, and I'll be like,
Oh my
"Babe,
god,
yeah.
babe, open up my voice memo," and then I'll be like in the car, like also insecure about her
Right.
hearing me. It's like,
Of course, yeah.
so, and then
Yeah.
you like can't hear it over the highway sound. You're like,
Do you
And sometimes it messes with your Bluetooth and your speaker in the car too, and you're like, no,
it's a struggle.
just work.
Yeah, I'll title the ones if I have music to them, I'll title them by like the chord progression. So I'll have that so that I remember what the hell I'm playing, so that when I go back to it, because there's been more than once where I've gone back and I'm like, what was I tuned to? What am I don't even know how to do this. So I'll have that, but then there's ones that are just vocal where I'm like doing the drums and doing everything, just try to like find it, and I'll name that like, you're by yourself, don't play this loud.
Yeah. I usually name them like the other day I was working on a song and I accidentally wrote a Beartooth type riff, so I called it Glasstooth as the demo, the working.
I'll do that too. Yeah. I'll combine it with like something that it could fit with too. Yeah.
I had one that was baritone 4 years strong, because the riff was just straight up 4 years strong.
But then you know exactly when it's yours, you know exactly what you're referring to.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
It works for you.
Well, what I want to know is, because this started as a solo project for you. So, and you alluded to it earlier. You said it. Hey, I was usually guitar player, drummer, bass player, that kind of stuff. You played with Icon for years. Where did Glasslands? Where did you find your voice? When did you find your voice? Did you start writing like toward the tail end of being in other bands, or like what made you go, you know what, I hear something and I want to make this?
I mean, I was never in a heavy band growing up. I always wanted to be. It just never happened. I was always in like rock bands.
Yeah.
So I always had that desire, but I wasn't pursuing it at all. I mean, I was honestly all in with Icon until they told me I was never going to be a member. And so that's kind of whenever it started. I was like, well, I'm not happy not being creative, so I'm going to like come up with something. And I knew I could sing. Like I always sang backup in all my bands, and I never like fronted before. But so that was pretty scary. So I was like, well, I think I'm a good enough singer. And Just tried it out. That's why if you ever listen to the first two singles I did, Resolution and Lost Times, they're just, I mean, they're especially Lost Times. It's just it's like 3 songs in one. It's all over the place kind of thing.
Right.
Because that was just me like trying to figure out even, that's, years of wanting to be in a heavy band. So I had a breakdown in there, but also like doing falsetto stuff. So there's a weird piano falsetto thing. And then there's like an oh part, and it's just, I mean, you can kind of tell like that was the first song I ever wrote was Lost Times. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of how it started. I just kind of wanted a creative outlet since I wasn't going to be able to do anything in Icon, and then eventually like quit Icon to start doing this. So.
Do you remember your first time on stage as just a singer, and what did you do with your hands?
Oh God, no! I had a straight stand. That's the
okay. All right. Key.
People making the transition out there.
Mm-hmm.
Just the straight stand, man. I literally did not let that thing go. I mean, practice in front of a mirror, all that stuff. So
right,
yeah, the first time I don't remember I think it was a show in like my hometown in Indianapolis. There was probably like 30 people there. I don't know, but yeah, it was. I was super nervous. I was mainly nervous to scream because I'm not the best screamer. In our like the first show I ever did was Glasslands. It was started with like a screaming like call to mosh type thing or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was absolutely terrified to I'm like pretty confident singer. I'm not nervous at all about that. But when it comes to even today, I'm still like, okay, got to mentally prep myself to, even though I can scream just fine now. But yeah, so I was super nervous and then straight stand. And that's how I got through the first.
Hold the straight stand and try and hide behind it.
Everybody,
Oh yeah,
everybody always commented like they were like, "Oh, you're lefty." Whenever I put down a guitar, like because I play righty, but when I sing, I always hold the mic in my left hand.
Right.
I don't know why, and everybody's like, "Why do you do that lefty?" I'm like, "I don't fucking know. It's because I did."
Well, I'm left-handed, but I did everything right-handed to make it easier and cheaper. But
right,
yeah,
yeah,
so
okay.
I was like, you had like part of your hand on the mic and part of it on the back of the clip, and then you had the right hand on the stand. So my only moves were doing this with holding
right.
that was
just
all I
out.
did.
Just reaching out.
Scott stabbing him.
And one thing God, I love Creed. One thing I will say that I learned as like I have really good tempo. I've been playing with a click track live since I was 15, so like I've been doing it for a long time. And I'll say my first few shows, and even today, something you won't understand unless you're a singer is as soon as you start talking during the song, like whatever you're trying to get people pumped up or like let me see those hands, whatever.
Yeah.
You just for some, at least maybe it's just me, but you lose track of. When I first started, you lose track of the beat, and that's never happened before. So like my first show ever, it's on video too. I did like this. It was going into a breakdown. I did some wimpy call, and like I headbanged like half a beat early because I just totally lost it. And sometimes still like I'll have to like hit the hi-hat a little harder if I'm doing. I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird thing whenever you switch to singing and are talking in between. I never thought I would have that problem, but
I can imagine if you've got a click going too. Like we don't play to a click on stage, so I'm always just like, well, you guys got to follow me. So
yeah, we play to like we have
tracks to a click. Yeah, so that's got to be. That would be really. I can't even imagine. I would lose my place constantly.
I'd
be all over the place.
It's a learning curve. It's absolutely.
I can't even imagine. Yeah.
Well, and like I don't have. I mean, we still are relatively. Glasslands hasn't toured much at all, so we don't have like the gear that you're used to maybe having. So like I don't even have click in my ears at shows currently.
Okay.
So I rely like solely on Brandon, but it's only like I don't ever get off unless it's the talking, and then I'm just like I have to like make myself pay attention. It's pretty weird. I don't know.
Or you find
You know
yourself
what I would
talking
suggest?
in time. You're talking in time.
I would definitely suggest pulling one of the in-ears out.
Yeah, which I do. I do like, I'll do like the kind of like click it out a little bit so you don't
Yeah,
go
just-
deaf from the cymbals, but you can still hear what's going
Right.
on. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So, did
Absolutely.
you say your hometown was Indianapolis?
Oh yeah.
yeah, that's where I grew up. Yeah.
Oh wow, I grew up in West Lafayette, actually.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, my brother lives in Indianapolis now, so I
Cool.
did the
Small
whole.
world.
Yeah, right. Grade school, high school, right?
St. Elmo's, baby.
Whoop whoop, fellow Hoosiers.
Nice.
I that's all I know.
And we both
about
got out.
we did. We got out.
Which is important.
Congratulations to us.
I went there
Indeed.
for a conference,
Indeed.
and I went to St. Elmo's, and it was delicious.
Yeah.
Shrimp cocktail was on point.
Nothing
point.
like shrimp cocktail in the Midwest.
in the
Yeah,
Midwest.
nothing like landlocked shrimp. It's great.
Well, it's so funny because
It's
like
farm raised, man.
so I used to work for a company, and the company had a race car,
hmm
like one of those like Daytona 500 race car. No, not Daytona. Indy 500.
500,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they used to take the one that was out of commission and tour it around all 500 branches.
Right.
And they hired one guy with this trailer to just wheel the car out, let customers and people take pictures with it, and then go off to the next city. And we live in Long Island, and he was like, "Man, I'm super excited. I can't wait to have some Long Island shrimp." And I was like, "Dude, it all comes from Mexico, the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah.
You're not going to get any Long Island shrimp."
You're not.
"Oh, I don't believe you." All right, buddy.
All right,
Whatever.
man.
Godspeed. Yeah. We have this in our house. We do have this this rule that if water doesn't touch the state that you're in, you
Mhm.
probably shouldn't have saltwater fish.
I agree with that rule.
I can definitely agree with that rule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freshwater fish, different story.
Right. Right.
Different story for sure.
Right.
I can see it.
So in our notes here, I see that you've gotten into rock climbing.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, talk to me about.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Rock climbing. What? Like I climb things like when I'm on stage and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I see a wall of rocks and I'm like, not for me. So what got you into that? Are you like a hiking kind of person or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm not like a full blown like Colorado Chad or something, but I do love Colorado in the mountains. I grew
Right.
up like going there, and before COVID, I was like, I've always been super scrawny. So before COVID, I was actually diligently for like 2 months straight going to the gym and putting on weight and stuff, and I was super stoked. And then like I got COVID, and we think in January before it all started. And then I never went back to the gym because everything was closed, obviously. But I always wanted to try climbing, but I actually hate lifting. So like I hate the act of doing it. You have to go 5 times a week. It takes an hour. You have to do like, I just don't enjoy it. There's no like excitement in it for me.
Sure.
So like I always want to try rock climbing, and I did it finally for the first time last summer, and an amazing workout, and it was a lot of fun because there's like a problem solving aspect of it, which I'm like, I'm kind of like into math. I'm also a software developer, so like I like problems, and so that kind of like scratched that itch as well as like the physical aspect of it. And it didn't feel like work, it was just like fun until you literally can't hold on anymore. Then you go home.
Right.
And then I just like became obsessed with it. So, that's
cool.
like,
I saw
now.
it for the first time in the Olympics this year, or was it this year or last year? And I was like, "Wow,
yeah.
this is like an actual Olympic event. It's pretty
Right.
badass too."
yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like, are there a lot of? Do you go like real mountain climbing, like out in nature, or are you more of like a?
Hit the walls.
I've
Yeah,
only been in the gym.
walls.
So I've only climbed in the gym mainly because, I don't know anybody outside, or I don't know any other climbers that climb outside. So that's why I haven't. I mean, I would try it probably, but it's just a totally different
Yeah,
experience. So, and I like the the jumping and stuff that you do inside, kind of like parkour-y, So yeah, I've only ever climbed in the gym. So, and it's just nice because I'll just do it because I travel so much. So I can go in any city, like whatever their local spot is. I don't have to have anyone with me or anything. So,
Do you have an easy time finding like gyms with walls? Because
there's climbing.
We only have like 2, but
And there's climbing specific gyms. So all you do is type in climb gym, and then like it's becoming so popular now too that more and more, like every major city has really good ones, and then slowly but surely smaller cities are getting better ones. So it might not be the greatest gym, but it'll do.
Well, when you're in New York, I just so you know, during COVID, I built my kids a rock wall in the basement. So if you're up to climbing the 7-foot monster,
just give him a few
I got
pointers.
it down in my basement, buddy.
it's a monolith.
Man, ultimate dad, man. You're building sheds and rock walls.
You know what? The bikes get in the way of the studio. So
he
I
built
was
the
like,
danger room that we're in. So.
yeah, I built the studio in the garage during COVID as well. So
Nice.
yeah,
Glad someone was doing things that were like
we
not just
started the
watching
podcast.
I helped you talk into a camera during COVID.
He did.
You're welcome.
That was my input.
Yeah, thank you.
Cool
Thank
room,
you.
bro. Thanks.
That's yeah, absolutely. So you're on the road a lot, and Bacon is my podcast. Bacon is important to us. Food is important to us.
Indeed.
What's your go-to road food?
For like a snack or like a meal or what?
Oh, just in general, man. I
heard your pizza combos thing on some other interview.
Oh wow, pizza combos are the shit. Pretzels though, right?
Thing.
The pretzel ones?
No, I get the pepperoni pizza ones. They're not pretzels, but I don't know why. It's like I've done it since I was a kid, so that's the only reason. They're terrible. I mean, there's like 1,000 milligrams or grams of sodium in there, and it's just you can't poop for 3 days. It's like, but I get every single time without fail. I get them. So, but as far as like food in general goes, I mean, we try to eat as good as we can, especially as a singer now. Like, it makes a massive difference what I eat during the day. So, like, I have to eat. If I'm opening on the tour, which Glasslands opening all tours we're doing right now, so, like, we're playing at, like, 7 o'clock or whatever.
Right.
I have to eat before 1. Like, I cannot eat after that because I will just be burping the whole time. It's just like most singers have that problem, and I also have like minor acid reflux. So like if there's any gas in me at all, like I will just and you literally can't stop it, and then like you have to notes and stuff. So like I have to eat before 1, and then usually I'll try to eat like I won't eat very much, and it'll be the healthiest thing I can find. And then after the show, I eat terrible. So I'll eat like whatever, like a burger or pizza or something. But
that's after the show. After the show is
what's awesome. What's awesome is and because my wife Jen and a lot of people, I same as you. I won't eat 6 to 8 hours prior to performing because
throw up, right?
I throw up on stage.
Yeah,
I will like legit. Yeah, I threw up on a drum set once that was not mine, and I had no.
Just couldn't look over there. Huh?
It was just like there was nowhere to go, and I just. And
the floor,
I
maybe.
finished the set, but it was the sound guys.
It got to the floor. It got there.
It was the sound guy's drum set, and he was so fucking pissed. He was like,
"Yeah,
what'd you do to my drum set?" I was like, "Sorry." Yeah. So I the fact that you're saying that, I respect the hell out of that because the struggle is real.
It's everything. I am absolutely starving all day, and then you're borderline passing out because you're so hungry.
Yes.
And especially if you rock music or any heavy music, you're like moving around, and so and then afterwards I immediately like just scarf down whatever. So But yeah, the struggle is real for us
I'm
singers.
amazed because people are so different though. You know, like you meet one person, and I teach vocals also, and I'm a singer for my band as well.
Hmm.
There's singers in the room, and
Yeah.
we don't have a shortage of things to talk about. It's amazing,
It's almost as if we don't have massive egos. Huh?
incredible.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll talk to people all the time, and it's like you can't eat for 6 to 8 hours before, but then I know some people that like it doesn't matter what they do, and then they just go up on stage and they're fine.
I was a
like,
part of a
jealous.
band with two singers,
Yeah.
and my other singer would go and so we used to have a bar near us, a venue called Even Flow,
Yep.
and they used to make wings for the bands. Like they would name different flavored wings after different bands and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And he would just go to town on 24 wings, and I'm like, I'm dying. I'm gonna strangle you.
Yeah,
You
that's annoying.
Yeah, it's.
I hate
great.
that guy.
Right?
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
I can't do
Anyone-
that. I
Yeah.
can't do that, but I can eat like I'll drink whiskey and go up on stage and.
Well, see, no, see, I'm fine with like,
But I'm not
like a
screaming.
whiskey
You guys
or
are both.
anything.
You guys are both screaming, but not as much. Like I'm singing high, like you are.
Yeah, I don't scream as much, but I use like all
But
of
you
my
definitely
high
get more
stuff
aggressive.
is vocal compression. So like,
Yeah.
and that is, if you know, I mean, I know you know, but it's for people who don't. It's like vocal
Right.
compression is you're literally like flexing your diaphragm, your abs, your diaphragm. You're just pushing from here. You know, some people call it like your poop muscles. So you're
Yep,
almost
the
like
dump.
Yeah.
The
almost
dump
dumping.
exercise.
So it's like, so anything you have in here is going to find
Yeah.
its way up when you're doing that, and that's like, 75% of what I do is vocal compression. So
Right.
Yeah.
so, but
I hated him. We had another show. I think the worst thing I saw him eat was this like Southwest Mexican wrap from this hole in the wall bar that we were playing at.
Mhm.
And we had been talked into playing like a 2-hour set.
oh my gosh,
And I was like, dude, we've got like an hour and a half of material. He's like, yeah, we'll just get throwing covers. He's in a cover band now, but like, he's like, yeah, let's just do it. And yeah, he ate this like it was disgusting. It was like you opened it up and it was all falling out. It was guacamole and like
Well, let's not.
salsa and
I'm going to go out on a limb here,
cheese.
and I'm going to say that we're not talking like he did all that and then sang flawlessly. Like, how was the performance?
I'm not here to judge that.
I am.
that's true.
You
Anyone can go out there. It just doesn't mean
Yeah.
you're gonna.
Anyone
Yeah, you-
can eat anything
Be nice
before
to
they go on
listen to.
stage.
Yeah, that's a good point. I couldn't do it. I can't do it.
No one's eating a Southwest wrap and then going on stage and singing flawlessly.
It had like
Yeah.
cheese sauce, but it also had like shredded cheese on it, and it was like it was literally like a hamburger busted up. And I was like, that's not.
Everything you're
Ew.
saying sounds awful.
No, thanks.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
like usually how I start tours is like I'm hyper. I mean, before the tour, I'm so nervous I'm gonna get sick. So
Right.
I'm like eating as healthy as possible at home, taking vitamin C every day, and then like once I get on the road for like the first week, I'm like super cautious. So I'll do like warm downs every night. I won't talk for an hour. Typical like diva singer. And then like even for the first few days, I won't drink coffee, even though I love coffee. Like
Oh.
I won't drink it because it's acidic. And then like eventually, like once you like, because you get like the tourist stamina too. So
Yeah.
then like all bets are off, and I'll just be like, I don't need a vocal rest tonight. Or
I mean,
Yeah.
honestly,
Well,
while
if you
you're
think about
there,
it, your best singing on tour. Well, I won't claim to know yours, but like the best singing on tour is like it's not that first week. It's
No.
like once you get into the middle of it and you're at like 80% and you just kind of like hang there.
Mhm.
That's the best.
Yeah.
And that's when
Yeah.
you're like you're fucking off the whole time.
Yeah, you hit a gear, and then everyone
Yeah, it's just like
it's
everything's
every
just kind of
tour.
like automatic then.
yeah. Well, I know Caleb from Beartooth. He I know you only have like a short run with them, but
Mhm.
he like completely changed his like eating habits. He's not drinking, and it
Yeah.
made a huge difference. Like I saw them on the first leg of the Below tour, and then the other leg, and I was like, holy crap, what a difference. So
Yeah,
Talk to
I
him.
haven't seen him since,
talk
but
to him.
yeah. Oh yeah, he's got some good tips for sure. So
The breathing stuff too is like, it's wild.
breathing is really important. Yeah, how you breathe
The
too.
box breathing
Box
that he
breathing.
does is wild.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so weird. Speaking of breathing,
Speaking of box breathing, we got a couple of boxes we need to.
we've
breathe
got some
through.
boxes that we need to breathe some life into.
This
Oh, okay,
That's
ter-
called
terrible segue.
that's called a
That's
segue.
that was
Woo!
amazing.
Segue.
No, that's good job,
Hashtag
you guys.
professional.
We're here all day.
In an interview right there. No,
We know you want to leave. We're
no. I mean, yeah, I want to, but no.
We are sponsored by a company called Poddex. Poddex is for people without verbal diarrhea like we have,
Yes.
for budding podcasters, for people who need to break the ice just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And what they do is they put out these decks. In each deck is 50 cards, and on each card is a question. And what we like to have our guests do is pick from a deck and then a random question from that deck. So,
A lot of decks.
Josh, Poddex, we have the interview deck. We've got the interview deck 2. We've got the episode deck. We've got what the heck, how dare you, would you rather, and what the fuck.
Indeed.
Nice. The green one. I'm just going for
Oh,
green.
the green
The
one.
green one. I like it. Pick them by color.
The
Which
green
one is the green
one
one?
is the what the heck.
What the heck?
They should have
So,
called it "What the Deck."
What
Right?
the deck? And you said you weren't good at puns.
That's
There you
marketing dollars. Here,
Look at
that's
you.
freebie.
Freebie.
Uh,
Freebie from Josh.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so Mike is going to shuffle this deck, and I will, while he's shuffling, just let everybody know within the sound of my voice that you can check out all these decks plus many more over at poddex.com. They have new stuff coming out all the time. They do have an app if you don't want to deal with physical cards, because we know that that is just a lot for people. So you can just do it on your phone. Just do it on your phone. It's super easy. They also have swag. They got the cool soft T-shirts, not the kind that irritate the nipples with the printing on them. Those suck.
They're
Everybody
definitely
hates those.
Drax approved.
Yeah, you have to wash it like 6 times before you can even wear it. Nah, they got good soft T-shirts. Check them out. If you like anything over there, put it in your cart. Use the promo code BACON,
Because everything's better with bacon.
and you get 10% off your entire order.
Alrighty. I am going to fan these out here.
All right, I am going from my left to my right, your right to your left. You tell me when to stop.
I was gonna point. I'm just kidding. Okay, yeah, right there.
Right there, right there. All right. Josh, which body part do you wish that you could detach, and why?
I'm not gonna say the obvious answer.
Right.
Well, there's a song about that.
Yeah, I mean, we've all heard it.
I covered
Such
it.
a weird
It's a story
question.
for another show.
That's a question that makes you go, what the deck?
I don't know. My nose, because my house is small and we have a litter box in there for 2 cats.
So for okay, I get it. You're like, I don't want to smell this right now. Put this over here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Put it back on later.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, that is a weird question.
That's a weird question. I mean,
I
like
haven't seen that one before.
the obvious answer that you were saying. I don't know. I mean, I
I don't know
wouldn't put
why
it in
you
a
would want
bag.
to.
Yeah, it's like
Everyone
I'm not
thought
gonna put it
that.
in a bag and for later.
I mean, every now and then I've always wanted to go, hey, you hold this.
Yeah.
Oh, I've done that before.
Right, yeah. Here, hold on to this for me.
I mean, like, what other body part would you do? Like,
My left butt cheek.
Why
'Cause
though?
Why not? Why
why
not?
not?
Why not?
You're right.
Why not?
What bag would you fit that in? Though
I would have to buy a new bag.
you have to buy a new bag for your butt cheek
Yeah.
bag.
I
Nice.
I have a problem with backpacks and bags.
And he has bequeathed that
Yeah.
problem to me now. So
Nice.
Sorry.
Can never have enough.
Hey, you know?
absolutely. So you guys are hitting the road hard.
Yep.
You guys are working until the end of September. What are your aspirations? Like what do you hope happens from these tours and stuff like that? And how quickly do you want to put out a new record? How quickly do you want to get back to writing? Do you think like doing these tours is gonna like rejuvenate you? You said you hate writing and it's a pain or whatever, but like, do you think these tours are gonna like rejuvenate? You're playing with a lot of different bands with a lot of different sounds. You think it's gonna create a spark and then send you back home and with some fresh ideas?
Or are you just a road warrior? And you never want to.
Or are you like screw it? Let's go out in November. Let's go out in October.
Right.
Let's go. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the funnest part for me, I've always just loved the road. So that's like in the performance, like that's my favorite thing. It's like performing. And then writing's like, I don't hate writing, but I have to be. Yeah. I can't just say, "Oh, I'm gonna write today." I mean, I can, but like, I'd ever get the best stuff, or it takes a long time, especially if I have no inspiration. And I can't set a time every day to be like, I'm gonna write. You know, if I have like publisher friends that that's all they do all day, and I'm just like, how do you do that? So when I say I hate writing, it's more like I have to be in the mood, and it's not. Right. It's stressful for me, especially as the singer and like the main songwriter. It's just like a lot of pressure now, especially now that we're signed and doing things. I'm just like, so it's like a process. I mean, yeah, anytime you go on the road, like you get inspired, and for sure, anytime I do anything creative, like even going to a show or something like that, it's always an inspiration. It's important to be around as an artist for sure. So
you're around other creative people, you're seeing different places.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%.
You're in it, when you're here.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, we won't take 5 years to do another album like we did last time. So
well, 2 of those don't count. So
right. Yeah, I don't know why, but well, no, definitely. Like we're gonna get, like I said earlier, we're gonna go back in this year, just to start getting in there and getting some demos down and stuff. And I would, no plans, but like definitely we'll be back to do another one next year, do the typical album cycle. So like it just depends on opportunity, because this is a weird year because like things are still, so normally you have like a 2-year album cycle, for most people, but like because it's still slow going for small bands like us, like there's only so many tours we can get on, and every single band in the world is touring this year and putting out an album. So like a lot of competition, or not competition, but a lot of like confliction.
There's only so many spots to be filled, and
So that's why we're not touring that much this year. Like, so something we definitely want to do more. So it might, as things ramp up and people's schedules start to diverge a little bit, to open up more opportunity for people. We do see ourselves like touring as much as possible. That's just what you need to do when you're like a newer band. But also like you need to have music ready to go, like pretty quick. So, I mean, no longer than 2 years from when it came out, would we put another one out? I would think. But maybe we haven't gotten that far yet, but we're definitely like I said, started writing again. I was actually going to ask Brandon to work on something with me tonight. I mean, I don't even remember what you asked, but
well, so my
yes, and music, yes, and all of the above.
Actually, one of my other questions was because you said you're an album guy. Are you guys gonna? Do you think you would ever approach things as single based as opposed to album based?
Yeah, I mean, I'm an album guy mainly for the story, and like when we write stuff, we like to have like a flow of an album. So that's like what I enjoy about albums. But I mean, also not ignorant to the fact that it's, attention based world right now. And I like singles too. Sometimes you have something that just doesn't fit, or you just want to put something out. And I mean, that's all we've done several singles.
A lot of freedom for that too.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, we'll probably have singles and album, and just kind of whatever feels right, so.
Cool. So we're going to start wrapping this up, because I know we've taken a lot of your time and stuff, but I do at least want to put out there, because we, you guys are very. Your videos are extremely well thought out, extremely well shot, and they even are interconnected. Some of them. So I did want to at least point that out so that we can tell people that are listening to definitely go check out the videos. Bury My Flame, Mad, Secrets, Liars, all excellent videos. What's the process that goes into the planning for your videos? Are you working with people that are kind of like jumping in and then you're putting together a concept with them after, or are you coming up with a concept and then finding people to kind of like work your vision? How is that all kind of taking place? Because it's still very storyteller-esque, and like your band is very storyteller-esque as well. So it kind of
that's the stuff we like. I love it, and so does Brandon. Like those are the things that we really enjoy. And we just like being weird and coming up with stuff. So like Brandon came up with most of the concept for the first 3 videos because they're all like tied together, and their order we release them is chronologically how you should watch them, I guess, if you're like big into that kind of thing. So he is
Marvel Universe them. They were like a month apart, and they were like all kind of connected.
Yeah, we almost made just as much money as Avengers too. So.
I wondered that. It seemed like
tens of dollars, like for sure. So that is obviously recouped by the label. So no, but Brandon just came up with this idea one day, and I think we were coming home from a show. I was driving. Brandon was sitting in the passenger seat, and then he was just like came up with something because we were like brainstorming or talking, and then he just stopped talking and he opened his laptop and was just like, like rage typing to get this idea down. And that's kind of the basis of what this like trilogy, what we call it, started. And then like, we just started snowballing ideas and all this crazy stuff. And just honestly, it was like our wildest dreams of what we want. Because coming from bands where like I didn't have any say in Icon, and in similar situation with Beartooth for him, but so we just like had years of ideas and like
you guys were kind of like go ahead and be this in this video. That's it.
And it's just like that's the kind of people we are. So like and then we started snowballing, and we had like hours of conversations about all this stuff and how it ties together, and stuff that people will probably never catch up on, and stuff that didn't make the cut. But so that's kind of how we came up with that concept. And then Liar was saying we came up with that too. It was actually the first video we shot before we got signed, and Jordan's wife shot it. We like rented a cabin in like this state park, and then I just kind of was like, I want a video of us in the woods or something super easy. And then, but yeah, for the trilogy, we found, I found this girl, Sparks is what she goes by, years ago. Actually, my wife found her and was like, you need to work with her someday. Never thought I would be able to, because she's a pretty big deal and she's super dope. And we told her this idea and like did not think, especially with our budget, we did not think she was going to go for it. And then lo and behold, like she did. And we were just like, so her style is, helicopters flew over. Her style is just so cool. Like love how her cinematography, and like she loves storytelling too. So
the videos look like the videos look really, really cool, and how they're shot looks really, really cool.
That's why we went with her, because like I think we're all this way. Like I just don't enjoy traditional music videos. Like I get the appeal and you have to do it. Like I don't enjoy performance videos, especially performance only.
I agree with you too.
I like some tasteful performance thrown in for a reason and effect. So like all like our first Bury My Flame doesn't even have it, and then like Mad has that weird old fashioned type performance.
Right,
like Secret's the only
TV thing.
Yeah. And that's supposed to play like it supports the story of whatever's happening. So that's what I like. And so, yeah, when we come up with videos, we're like, in no way do we want to do any cheap $1,000 video of us in a warehouse or whatever. Like, I'm not knocking people to do it. We just don't enjoy that. So yeah, that's why we went with her, because she doesn't really do music videos. She does like short films and like stuff like that. So that's why we wanted to go that route. And
That's cool. I like that. Like,
Yeah.
you got somebody that's not in your wheelhouse, and you're going to get a different look, and you're going to get a different vision. And the whole point
Completely
of all this
different feel,
shit
yeah.
is to stand out anyway. You know what I mean? Like, how
Yeah,
do you
it's
stand
just-
out is
Mhm.
always the question.
it's fun. I mean, that goes back to 21 Pilots and Halsey. Like, Halsey
Yeah.
did a whole movie, like her
Yeah,
a couple
right.
albums
Whole
ago.
record.
Like,
And
and it
just
was
doing a whole record with Trent Reznor was
So.
like out of
Okay.
It was like,
That's
oh,
cool.
that
yeah,
is, you
Or like-
wouldn't have thought of it to start with, but then as soon as you hear it, you're like, oh, that's going to be dope as shit.
Yeah.
yeah, and like Lemonade, like Beyonce
Yeah,
did it
Yeah.
too, and it's just like, we're all Beyonce, so
right.
Yeah. Queen
No,
Bee.
it was just yeah. So we like that fun. Like, that's where I feel like that's where we thrive and what we enjoy. So
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
Very cool.
you have given us time. You look like you're tired.
You
I got up at 6:30 this morning and went climbing. So that's why
That's-
I'm tired.
You went climbing.
That's
you did
early.
a 6-hour drive, and then you spent an
It's
hour
hot
plus with us.
It was fun though. I enjoyed talking to you guys. So
So good. Absolutely. We
absolutely.
enjoyed talking to you too, man. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So just in closing here, just one more time, please let everybody that's listening know where they can find you guys, what to look forward to, what should we be looking for, what you got going on in your life, what's happening. Tell
Yeah,
me where to find videos, everything.
yeah, this is check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter and TikTok. Just Glasslands Band. And glasslands.co is our website. You can find everything there. We're gonna be on tour with Beartooth and Dragged Under and Rivals and Aria. So come say hey at a show. Check out our new album. And yeah.
They're gonna gnome somebody.
If you don't listen,
We'll send you a gnome.
we'll send you a gnome. We'll
No.
do it.
You don't want to get known by these guys.
You need to do this to the guys in Rivals, because, or we could send them the cheese puffs, the hot cheese puffs.
Mm.
Yeah.
Only
So
if there's piss in the container afterwards.
we can
instead of
arrange for that.
Instead of the piss, which we could do, but instead of that, we do have cheese balls that are 2 million Scoville units.
2.2 million Scoville units.
Yeah, which we did.
That's a Brandon thing.
Yeah, we did have
Yeah.
Rivals eat.
We actually last time we hung out with them. Well, no, we hung out with them at So What a little bit, but the time before that, we actually did a tasting with them and had them eat bacon cotton candy, pickle cotton candy,
chicken nugget paste.
chicken nugget paste,
Yeah.
Texas burger paste, and French fry paste.
Yeah, everything you're thinking right now is correct.
Is correct.
Yeah, you guys should talk to Brandon, because I'm not that chicken paste, dude.
Oh, it was awful.
Nobody
It was awful.
is. It's
I mean,
terrible.
we're not that
Yeah.
kind of people. But
We do it for the Patreon.
we do it.
Patreon.com/Beggar.
Chicken.
Podcast.
Well, we released
Check
that for free. We put it out for free.
It's down there.
But yeah, when you guys are local, or whatever, if you want to eat some awful stuff, let us know.
Yeah,
Well, just good
definitely.
stuff.
Right
We'll just
before the
come to the
show,
show.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
We'll
we'll
come to the
just-
show.
We'll get you before 1.
Yeah, before 1 o'clock. We get-
Before 1 o'clock.
yeah.
Sweet. All right, guys. Thank you so much, Josh. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. This is
Yeah, thank you,
really
guys.
really cool.
We appreciate the time. And everybody, listen. Just remember every day to ask yourself
Yeah.
the most important question. What
Very
is it?
important question.
What is it?
What is
that
it?
makes your day better? What is it that makes your
Thank
life
you.
better? What is the question? Do you remember, Josh?
Do you
what the
remember
question is?
what the question was? You will be tested. I told you. You would be
This is how we
tested.
make everybody feel like shit at the end of the show. It's great.
I said bacon, but that's clearly not a question.
That's part of it. That's
It's part of
the
it.
question.
It's definitely part of it.
What? I don't know.
Uh,
I don't have it.
Uh,
I have the answer.
What's your bacon?
What's taken? That
Scratch the interview. Throw the interview out.
Oh, yeah, delete it.
Toss it.
Delete it. Thanks for hanging out, man.
Yeah, dude. Thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it.
And we're back. And you know what? That intro was really long. So where can they find you?
They can find me at me my own self, Mike, on the Twitter, the Instagram, the Facebook, my band at Something Heavy Music. We've got a new single out called Learning.
Nice.
Yes. I hope. At Something Heavy Music on all the socials, and check us out on all the streaming platforms under Something Heavy. Jimmy, what about you, my friend?
Me, you can find at Jimmy G's Shoes on all the socials. Check me out there to find out stuff about my band, find out mostly stuff about Bacon is my podcast, and occasionally to find out where I'm putting my feet these days. You never know.
Your shoes are all over the place.
My shoes are all over.
It's a humdinger.
Not as much as they used to be.
No.
I got to get back to doing. I got to get back to traveling more places. I got a few coming up. So watch it and check it out because I got a couple places that I'm heading soon. So you'll see some pictures. Also, you can find my band Craving Strange at cravingstrange.net. We have a new single out, maybe-ish, called "Mean What You Say." And if it's not out now, it'll be out soonish. So you should definitely check that out. I'm also in a band called Bacon is My Passion. And we have a new single out called...
well, it's coming out. The single is coming out.
What's it called?
We haven't decided which one.
I was putting you on the spot. Pick one. What's it going to be?
It's a song.
All right.
And it's great.
It's all right.
I promise.
It's a song.
And it's going to be great.
It's pretty good.
It's going to happen soon?
Yeah.
Maybe?
You're gonna like it or hate it.
It's gonna be there,
but it'll be out.
It'll be there.
It'll exist
no matter what.
Absolutely.
Also, we would be remiss if we didn't speak about our patrons over at patreon.com.
Yes.
/Bacon is my podcast.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys so much for keeping the lights on.
Yes.
For additional content, for additional episodes, early and ad-free.
Sometimes hurt ourselves by eating things that are terrible.
Sometimes extended episodes. We just did recently an extended episode with Saving Vice because he was a talker.
Love
Good
those
dude.
talkers.
Good dude.
Love
Definitely a talker.
You get 3 singers in a room, man.
Yeah, that's
we did tonight.
Like
we did
a
little bit of talker.
Like we did tonight. And last but not least, TikTok. What is going on there? Who the fuck is El Serioso?
I don't know, but he's taken over our TikTok.
We need to
somebody needs to get to the bottom of the ballad
this guy is
of El Serioso.
Yeah, but make sure you do all that. I know it's a lot to ask, but just do it.
It's not really a lot to ask.
Just do it. It's free.
Seriously, guys.
No,
it's so simple for you to do.
Like,
the
subscribe,
easiest things in the world.
Like, subscribe, give
5-star
5-star reviews.
Quit being lazy.
Quit being lazy.
Not up, would you?
And always remember to ask yourself one simple, important question.
Teas. All those teas. What's your bacon?
World peace.
Yeah.